Good morning to all the members of AP State Dental Council. Hope you all are doing well and taking all the protective measures for being safe. We would like to thank you all for the overwhelming response we have received for the question and answer session, which was put up on APSDC website. The questions we have received have been segregated into different categories so that each issue can be addressed in a better way. So today with us we have Professor Dr. K. Satish Kumar Reddy Garu, President, AP State Dental Council, Member, Dental Council of India, formerly Executive Committee Member, Dental Council of India, Member Academic Senate, Dr. NTR University of Health Sciences, Member of High Power Committee, Department of Health of Government of AP, and a very well-known practitioner since 30 years. Good morning, sir. Hope you're having a great day today. The first few questions are purely from our side. So I would like to start off with a question about so, as you're aware of the COVID-19 pandemic and every one of us are going through a panic situation right now, what is your opinion or to what extent does it have an impact on our dental professions and what would be your advice to how one should be reacting to the situation?
To understand how we have to respond to the situation, we have to understand history a little. These epidemics, endemics, pandemics, they have been troubling the human race since long. It is not new. For example, if we think about Spanish flu, which has troubled humanity about 100 years back, it is believed it has affected about 500 million people and almost killed about 50 million people. And it is believed on that day a biggest segment of the earth population was eliminated by this epidemic. And we talk about further outbreaks. We have outbreaks of cholera, we have outbreaks of plague, we have outbreaks of HIV these days, SARS, Ebola, so many outbreaks we are seeing. And every time when these outbreaks come, they temporarily create a panic situation and creates uncertainties in the lives and more with the doctors to face the profession. And all the times the science research, they have come out with solutions which has helped us to overcome the situations and resume our lives to normal. In fact, every situation like this made us more stronger and more equipped to face the future challenges much better.
So, I have another question from my side. Have you ever come across a situation like this in your life?
No, none of us has seen a situation like this in our lifetimes. But it is relevant to quote that a similar situation when we started our practices in 1988, we have come across an outbreak of HIV, AIDS. So those days we were afraid of contracting the disease during the practice, and the dentistry was so simple. Even using of the glove was not a routine in the practice, and the literature was very limited. And for a long time, we have gone through a lot of trauma and what kind of situation we'll be facing. And social media was not strong, information technology was not there, so that these days we are able to know things much faster. And to calculate in magnitude, today this disease has shaken us in a bigger magnitude, but it may be on the financial side. But when we talk about the professional side, the earlier days we have faced a lot of trouble, lot of trauma, and with time, so many solutions have come, and we continue to practice. And dentistry has developed so much, and in fact, dentistry is seeing much bigger heights today than those days.
So now I'll be asking few questions put by our members on the website. This few set of questions are based on issue addressing dentistry during COVID-19. So the first question is from Dr. Abdul Razak. His question is about how long should be the PPEs used even after lockdown?
Until some solution comes in the form of either a vaccine or a instant testing method wherein you can screen a patient, you have to continue wearing this personal protection equipment as a must. The issue is the disease is highly contagious, and the biggest problem is the possibility of we contracting the disease from the patient or you know from person to person. That is the biggest problem. That's why we have to be a little more careful.
So we have our next question from Dr. Avila Dharmi. Her question is about, is it safe to continue doing dental practice in this situation of COVID-19?
Actually, how this virus is behaving, still we don't have an idea. As on today's available literature, it is said people with higher age group and small children and people with associated health conditions like uncontrolled diabetes, uncontrolled hypertension, and obesity, these will create little higher risk. So the person first has to take a call whether he is falling into high risk category. If somebody is falling into these high risk categories, like old age or a comorbid condition prevailing with him, and if somebody is having a small kid whom she or he has to take care of at home, probably has to take an extra caution and take a call whether they can continue during this transitory time dentistry or keep away from it. If one has to take a call personally, for example, in my personal condition, I have decided to continue practice. And then when it came to my father, he's 84 years old, and I said, you better take off for some time because this is how you have to take a call on this.
So the next question we have is from Dr. Krishna Velineni garu. His question is about, what is the scope of practice of dentistry after Corona?
Corona is a progressing disease. Still, the literature and the understanding of the disease is still progressing. So we have to progressively wait, watch, and act.
So the next question is from Dr. Maurya Abhinav Sridhar. His question is regarding, what are the standard operating protocols to be followed in the dental practice during COVID-19?
All the advisory that is advised by WHO, ICMR, and Dental Council of India should be strictly adhered till some solution comes to this.
So we have another question from Dr. Abdul Razak. He would like to know about the number of patients that can be treated during COVID-19.
With all the limitations like wearing these PPEs and following all the guidelines and with the history of the patients, what we have to gather and the records we have to maintain, I don't think we can attend more than 25 to 30% of our regular routine.
Our next question is from Dr. Uday Shankar Bai. He would like to know about the reliability and the quality assurance of the BPs available in the market.
Actually, to talk about the personal protection equipment, we never heard of it. We don't have an idea. This sudden situation has made us use this. And as it is an unprecedented condition, so many companies have flooded the market with different equipments, and we are in a fix what kind of material to be used or what kind of product to be used. As per the guidelines, if you see, a 100 GSM with 40 GSM fabric over on either side with a 20 GSM lamination in between is the best product that can be used for the protection.
So we have our next question from Dr. Rai Bharat Reddy. So from when can we open the clinics?
You can open the clinic even now unless the area where you are practicing is restricted because of quarantine or any other reasons by the authorities. But we have to restrict our work purely to consultations and emergency procedures and teleconsultation and not to do any elective work till some clear instructions come from appropriate authorities. And one more thing to add on to it, I feel, because the doctors are forced to spend a lot of time even on teleconsultations, interacting with the patients to assess the condition. They can even start charging teleconsultation fees also.
So now we are going to move on to the questions regarding the sterilization protocols. We have a question from Dr. Durga Prasad Babu Kanchara regarding how do we sterilize impressions and models.
If it is alginate impression, you have to soak in 0.5% sodium hypochlorite for about 10 minutes. And if it is a rubber based impression, it is 2% glutarol rehydrate has to be used for sterilization, and you have to soak for 10 minutes.
Our next question is from Dr. Prithvi Koyalamudi. Sir, can the usage of UV light of 40 watts be an alternative to the fumigation process in a dental operative procedure?
UV light can be an adjuvant to regular sterilization methods. You have to use fogging and fumigation as recommended by the authorities with the recommended chemical compositions. And this will be just an adjuvant. This cannot replace the fumigation or fogging.
So we have a next question from Dr. Dasari Krishna Prasanna regarding the disinfection solutions for surfaces and its concentration.
That is 2% sodium hypochlorite for all surfaces.
So our next question is actually a request from Dr. Naveen Kumar and Dr. Dudekula Sai. It is regarding the issue of ID cards to all the registered members of Dental Council of India in the form of smart cards.
It is to answer, it is already decided that we are going to issue ID cards to all members of AP State Dental Council, because they are all members of our council. It's already decided, is in the process. Very soon the issue will be addressed and they'll get the cards.
So we have our next few questions based on testing. So amongst them, the first question is by Dr. Dasari Akhila. Can rapid testing kits be provided at the OMR department of all the colleges so that we can check all the patients before sending them to the further treatments?
Good case, Chair. But we need to wait for some time till that instant kits becomes freely available in the market.
So we have our next question from Dr. Venugopal Seemakurati. His question is regarding the measures taken for welfare of dentists and controlling of unethical practices.
The issue of unethical practice we are planning to address in two ways. Step one, we are going to sort out all the people who are quacks, who are practicing without a qualified degree. We are going to planning to file FIR against all these people that they are not licensed to practice, and we are discussing with some judiciary department whether we can file criminal cases against these people. Earlier we were complaining to police, and police was warning them, and it was not yielding any much result. Now we are just checking a possibility whether we can address by booking criminal cases against these people so that it will be more effective. And when it comes to the second step, we are planning to certify all the clinics whether they are accredited to the required standard or not. These are the two steps we are planning to go ahead in future.
First question was asked by Dr. VVS and Raju Jampana regarding are PPE kits sold by APSTC at a best price?
Andhra Pradesh State Dental Council is a statutory body, and we cannot enter into a business of selling or buying the kits because it is not permitted for us to handle such business.
So we have a next query from Dr. Manikumar Sode regarding can government provide any subsidy for the COVID-19 patient PPE kits and machinery, and would there be any tax exemptions if we include the patient PPE charges?
Yeah, it's a good gesture. We will write to Government of India for providing some benefit in tax for the machinery specially purchased for COVID-19 protection time, like high vacuum suctions and other machinery which is needed for this purpose.
So we have another question from Dr. Neshneni Satish Kumar regarding can we expect any unemployment allowances?
When it comes to unemployment allowance, it is not only connected with dentistry. Other professions, like there are people in engineering, there are people in other technical areas who are qualified, still unemployed. So we can write to the government, but the thing is, if any solution comes, it comes from everyone. It cannot come only for dentistry.
So we have a last question from Dr. Kumiti Malleshwara Reddy regarding what are the steps taken by the DCI for the welfare of young practitioners, and would the government be providing us any free PPE kits?
Regarding the free PPE kits, we will try. But as far as the measures taken by DCI, what he is asking, AP State Dental Council, we are planning to write to Dental Council of India to write to central government and negotiate what best COVID package relief can be addressed to the young practitioners who are budding practitioners, and any other subsidy can be provided for these people so that they can recover better and come back to the practice soon.
So before closing the session, I would request you to give us your feedback and advice from the various questions we have received regarding the COVID-19 chapter.
Right now, we don't have any options left for but for to plan our financials, adjust our lifestyles till we totally get back to normal. And I personally feel when compared to various industries like aviation, hotel, restaurant, and other industries, I think healthcare will be first to recover because it is the need of the public, not a lifestyle. So hope for the good, and I wish all the best to all the dentists, and God bless dentistry.